Top 7 Best Motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X in 2022. Through extensive research and testing, I have put together the list of options that will meet the need of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance, or particular use, we have got you covered. For more information, I have put links of products in the description. Make sure to check it out. Like the video, comment, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started. Number 7. ASUS ROG Strix B550F Gaming. ASUS also offers mid-tier motherboard options under its ROG lineup of computer components, which offers very similar performance and features to more expensive ASUS ROG motherboards, making it perfect for the AMD Ryzen 7 5800X. The ASUS ROG Strix B550F gaming motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X is most probably the best performing mid-tier motherboard that you can find out there for using with AMD Ryzen processors. Since this is a mid-tier motherboard, it uses the AMD B550 motherboard chipset along with the AMD M4 CPU socket. Because of its given motherboard chipset, it does not need any chipset cooling fans, making it completely silent. Another benefit of this given CPU socket and motherboard chipset is that this ASUS motherboard works perfectly with AMD 3rd Gen 5000 series and AMD 2nd Gen 3000 series processors. Moving to the connectivity options of this motherboard, it uses the full-size ATX form factor. As a result, you get a total of 4 memory slots with it, which can be used to install up to 128 GB of memory. Number 6. MSI MAG B550 Tomahawk Gaming Motherboard. MSI can also be a great option for those of you who are on a tight budget but still want to have a decent motherboard for using with the AMD Ryzen 7 5800X without compromising on basic connectivity options and features. The MSI MAG B550 Tomahawk Gaming Motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X happens to be the cheapest option given in this list, which still offers a full-size form factor, making it perfect for value-for-money PC builds. Talking about the form factor, this MSI motherboard offers the ATX form factor, which is always great for connectivity options. As for the compatibility options of this motherboard, it relies on the AMD M4 CPU socket and the AMD B550 motherboard chipset. Since this is a mid-tier motherboard chipset, this motherboard does not need a cooling fan for the same. Thankfully, similar to the higher-end X570 options, this motherboard also works perfectly with AMD 3rd Gen 5000 series and AMD 2nd Gen 3000 series processors. Number 5. ASUS ROG Strix X570E Gaming ATX Motherboard. You can also consider ASUS and its ROG lineup of motherboard options if you do not have any budget restrictions and want something which offers excellent performance along with handy connectivity options for the AMD Ryzen 7 5800X processor. ASUS ROG Strix X570E Gaming Motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X happens to be the most expensive option given here, which is to be expected considering its superb overclocking support and features, as you will see down below. Starting with the form factor of this motherboard, you will be glad to note that it is a full-size ATX motherboard. Being such a premium AMD motherboard, it uses the AMD M4 CPU socket along with the AMD X570 motherboard chipset for proper CPU compatibility and features. Just like all other AMD X570 motherboards, this one also offers a cooling fan for its motherboard chipset. Another similarity between this and other AMD X570 motherboards is that this ASUS one also supports AMD 3rd Gen 5000 series and AMD 2nd Gen 3000 series processors. This ASUS motherboard also offers pretty great memory support thanks to its 4 memory slots. Number 4. MSI MAG X570 Unify Motherboard. MSI also offers high-end and premium motherboard options for those who want the absolute best motherboard option for using along with their AMD Ryzen 7 5800X processor while having amazing overclocking performance and connectivity options. The MSI MAG X570 Unify motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X is the best option given in this listicle if you wish to overclock AMD Ryzen 7 5800X processor and want a high-performance motherboard for the same. In order to offer all the connectivity options that you can want, this MSI motherboard features a full-size ATX form factor. As you would expect from a high-end motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X, It uses the AMD M4 CPU socket paired along with the AMD X570 motherboard chipset. With these, this MSI motherboard not only works with the Ryzen 7 5800X, but also supports other AMD 3rd Gen 5000 series and AMD 2nd Gen 3000 series processors to ensure proper overclocking support for the CPU. You will also find a cooling fan for its motherboard chipset. In fact, this motherboard also offers excellent memory overclocking support thanks to its support for up to 5000 MHz memory speeds. And because this motherboard has a total of 4 memory slots, you can use up to 128 GB RAM with it. One of the best things about this MSI motherboard is that it features a total of 5 PCIe expansion slots, where 3 of them are X16 expansion slots. Number 3. GIGABYTE X570 AORUS Elite Gaming Motherboard. GIGABYTE is another brand of computer components that you should consider if you are looking for high performance and versatile motherboards for your next computer build if you wish to use the AMD Ryzen 7 5800X processor. This GIGABYTE X570 AORUS Elite motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X is present in the 3rd position in this article because it offers almost all the features and options that you could want from a motherboard. For making this motherboard highly versatile in terms of connectivity options, this motherboard uses a full-size ATX form factor. You will also find the AMD M4 CPU socket as well as the AMD X570 motherboard chipset with this GIGABYTE motherboard. As a result, you can use this motherboard with the AMD 3rd Gen 5000 series and AMD 2nd Gen 3000 series processors. Because this motherboard is the high-end AMD X570 motherboard chipset, it even uses a cooling for the chipset itself. Right above the motherboard chipset, you will also find a total of 4 memory slots that can be used to install up to 128 GB of memory. Apart from supporting a high-capacity memory kit, this motherboard can also be used for up to 4733 MHz memory speeds, which is quite good for most users. Although, one area where this motherboard does fall a bit short of features is its expansion slots, since you only get 4 of them, which includes only one X16 expansion slot. Thankfully, you still get pretty great storage options with this motherboard, which includes both bulk storage and high-speed storage options. To be exact, you will find 6 ex-SATA ports along with 2X NVMe 2 slots with this GIGABYTE motherboard. Number 2. ASUS M4 TUF Gaming X570 Plus. If you are in the market for a new motherboard for your existing or a new computer build that offers a wide range of features along with great performance numbers, then ASUS and its tough lineup of computer components can be a great option for most users. ASUS's TUF Gaming X570 Plus motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X is present in the 2nd position in this listicle, as this is a great mid-tier option for your AMD Ryzen 7 5800X processor. For starters, this ASUS motherboard offers a full-size ATX form factor, which is always great for connectivity options. Not only that, but this motherboard also comes with the AMD M4 CPU socket and the AMD X570 motherboard chipset. Thanks to these chipset and CPU socket options, you are able to use this motherboard with the AMD 3rd Gen 5000 series and AMD 2nd Gen 3000 series processors. To ensure that the AMD X570 chipset of this motherboard is able to offer optimal performance with any CPU that you use, this motherboard has a chipset cooling fan as well. Moving over to the memory slots of this motherboard, you will find a total of 4 memory slots. By using these memory slots, you can install up to 128 GB of memory on this motherboard, which can be used at up to 5100 MHz memory speeds, which is pretty high for most users. Unfortunately, this ASUS motherboard is a bit limited in terms of its expansion options, since you only get 4 PCIe expansion slots with it, with only one X16 expansion slot. Fortunately, ASUS has not compromised with the storage options offered by this motherboard, since it features 6 ex-SATA ports. You will also find 2X NVMe 2 SSD slots on this motherboard, which can be used with PCIe Gen 4 SSDs if you want the absolute best storage performance. Number 1. MSI MPG X570 Gaming Plus Motherboard. MSI is one of the best options out there if you are looking for computer components that offer good performance along with handy features, which is also true for its motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X, given here, which can be a great entry-level option. The MSI MPG X570 Gaming Plus motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X is present in the first position in this list, since this is the cheapest option given, which still offers a high-end motherboard chipset. To make the same possible, this MSI motherboard uses the full-size ATX form factor, which allows it to offer various connectivity options. As for its high-end motherboard chipset, it uses the AMD X570 motherboard chipset. And to ensure proper performance with this motherboard chipset, it offers an in-built cooling fan for the chipset. Coming to the compatibility of this motherboard, it uses the AMD M4 CPU socket. With the given CPU socket and motherboard chipset, this motherboard is compatible with the AMD 3rd Gen 5000 series and 2000 series processors. You will also get 4 memory slots with this motherboard, which allow you to install up to 128 GB of RAM in total. Talking about the performance of these memory slots, you can run a memory kit of up to 4,400 MHz speeds with it. Despite being fairly affordable, this motherboard still includes a total of 5 PCIe expansion slots, which includes 2 X16 expansion slots for high-end expansion cards. So guys, that's all for the top 7 best motherboard for Ryzen 7 5800X in 2022. The links of all products are given in the description, which are updated for the best prices. Subscribe our channel for more videos. We will meet in next video. Till then, take care. Bye.